Yes, welcome to the opinion poll. We're going to be sharing a very interesting topic for today. Very many people turned up to show us a lot of interactiveness and alertness to this topic when we actually got to upload it today in the morning, and people were just really coming in and in. So I can't wait to see what we have to say about this topic. So who's introducing it?
You.
I am introducing.
Can we let her
Yes.
introduce it?
No, let her introduce the
I
topic.
don't know what's wrong with the topic or
There's
what's wrong
nothing
with
wrong.
me introducing it, but it's okay. I will introduce it. Sometimes you find that people actually don't want to speak about things
And
that
yet
normally
this
happen.
happens in
Why are you
society.
guys coming at me?
No,
Yes,
it's not
because
you. I'm
you-
sorry.
It
It's
is
not.
and the others.
But yes, you find that so many people avoid speaking about the word sex. Yet it happens. You know, it's just a normal thing that happens. So today we're going to be discussing.
Very normal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
Yes,
God.
this is going to be a long discussion.
It's going to be a very great discussion. I
Don't
can't
make
wait to
me
hear
feel
more.
sad because I'm standing on myself.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, today we're going to be discussing on a topic that actually goes, is it appropriate to have sex, or is it appropriate having sex before you get married or before marriage? Is it appropriate to have sex before marriage?
And then there's this funny thing, it's in this line where everyone has been now sending memes. You know that meme that says, me sitting in heaven because all of you guys had sex before marriage?
So that's what
So
we're
it
going
has
to
been
be
trending, yeah.
It's what we are going to be discussing about, and people have, come in and pitched in their opinions. And remember, guys, it's just opinions. It's just what we think. It might be different from what you think, and it won't make what you think not correct or what we think not correct, because it's just what we think as people.
So I think today let's first start with the opinions of people, just to change the routine, and then little by little
Let's
we'll
read
get
some,
to.
and then
Yeah,
make
and
it.
also have a clue
True.
on what we think.
So let's read the top, the
Yeah, let me read them for you guys.
Yes.
Yes. So the first one, patiently. The first one is Mugisha Gadson. He said music. We put some music that is just.
What song did you put? Please tell the people who
Lift
did.
the door open, lift the door open by Bruno Mars.
Whoever
and
posted that on our Instagram is a hoe.
Anderson Paak. Yeah, I won't reveal that person, but it is what it is. And then
It is what it is.
Bapin said JK depends on the kind of relationship we are sharing. JK, I don't know what it means. Do you know what it means?
Normally it means joking, but I don't know. It wouldn't make sense, that sentence.
Yeah, that's what he said. Depends on the relationship that you have or you're sharing with that person. Thank you so much, Bapin. And then Bapin again said yes, sir. And it is,
Appropriate, I
yeah, to him.
for him.
And Mr. Sap said, no, it's a sin before God, and he seems to be a believer. Thank you so much for pitching in. Then Marvin Lionel 6 said, it may be common for the couples to have sex before a marriage, but those who wait for marriage are happy. That's what he says, and that's according to him. Ivan 2GG said, it is a sin. KK Kayla 260, that's the next person. She said, no, it's not, according to her. Thank you. And then Suis Kendra said, and what if you don't like him anymore? And remember, always the first time is never forgotten. That's the fear or insecurity that he has. Then Sus Kendra also said, it's not because you are losing your V card to someone who is never going to be yours forever. Then promoter Frank's person says, no kubera umusogongezo wa Cain atagura. I don't know what that means.
God knows. I don't know.
Yeah, but promoter Frank P's son, that is what he says, and that is what he thinks. Those are the comments that we have so far. You can also pitch in as we speak about it, and we cannot wait to see what you're going to think. But let's just see what we
Discuss
think
right
as
now.
we-
Yes. So Tracy, since you refused to introduce the topic, let's start with you. Do you think it's appropriate to have sex before marriage?
So apparently, I have to say my own opinion.
Yes.
So apparently,
Don't
according to my
It's yours. Did you just learn?
Apparently, just is going to be apparently.
Apparently.
So according to my own opinion, it is a sin before God, and
Yeah.
I'm speaking from my own experience and my own opinion. So that's to say that I'm not pinning anyone down, but
You're
it's
not
their
pinning
own.
those that have done it
True,
possibly before.
right? I'm not pinning them at all. It was their choice. It was their own,
And people
personal.
have different reasons.
Yes,
beliefs.
people have their own beliefs. They also believe in their own way. They have the way they go by their religion and all that.
Yeah.
So according to my religion and according to my own understanding of this topic, it is, I wouldn't say, how can I say it? It is something I can never do before marriage. It is something that I just can't comprehend or even think about. Because the Bible tells me to abstain from sex before marriage. So there are very many verses in the Bible that talk about it in Corinthians, where we get to see how they actually explain to us as believers how to really, how can I say it, abstain from it. So personally, it
It's
depends.
not appropriate.
It's not appropriate, and I wouldn't go for it because I believe when people have sexual intercourse, it means that there is some tying with them. Like they become one, they glue to each other. I think you guys should check out the relationship goal that Michael Todd, if you know him, made when he was actually talking a lot on this. And he was saying that when you have this connection with someone, you become so glued together that nothing can actually like part you guys off each other. So like, for example, if it's the first time you're having it, I hear and have had research about it, that when you have this with someone for the first time and maybe you're a virgin, it means that you're actually going to be attached to this person than any other person. So why do I think it's wrong in my own opinion is that if I do this and even the Bible stops me from doing it, and this person is not the real one, he's not going to be the one for me, he's not the one God wants me to be with, and then I'm creating such a connection with them that cannot be tied down by anything else, and my mind is always going to be thinking about this person, yet we have separated. That is like a covenant. You're doing a covenant with someone. You get, you're having what you're having with them, and then it makes you attached to them so deeply that you can't get over them. And then when somebody else comes, because you're so used to doing it, nothing really counts, but rather the first love was like so connected with you. So it means that if this person ends up getting somebody or ends up dating somebody else and also ends up being in love with somebody else, your heart will always be there, yet you can't be there. You get me?
Yeah.
So there'll always be the broken covenant between you and them, which is so hard to break. So I think it's just abstaining from it and going with what the Bible says. That's to me because I'm a believer. So I believe that it's all according to what people think is okay for them, because rather they have a way they express it. People do it because they love each other, right? And love is what makes them do it. So if they really love their partners and they feel like they're doing it because of love, then I wouldn't pin them down, because we all make mistakes. We all have what we want to do. We all want to feel love in different ways. So that's what I think.
Yeah. So, Joe?
It's your turn. Can I be the last? At least
Speak, my
she's
friend.
always been the last.
Have I?
Yes,
She's
actually,
always
yes.
been the last.
Always.
Like,
Yes, you have. Please speak.
So I hadn't yet gathered my words. That is why I was hoping.
okay, cool.
Please gather
Okay,
them.
let me
No, she's gathering her words now.
I can't. We can't be in moments of silence. Who has passed away? Let's go.
Okay, so here is
But
what I
next
think.
week will be the last.
Here is what I think, that I'm just going to be on both sides. It's appropriate and it's inappropriate depending on how you can defend,
Your reasons to do
your
it.
reasons, exactly, your reasons. So here's one thing. Let me start with the believers and also what you have said. I just love, me personally, I love Michael Todd. He teaches Christians in a way that they will understand everything that he says more clearly and more in a sense of what people will understand something new from what he teaches. So when we were growing up, if you followed the sermon that he had, when we were growing up or when you go to the church, the pastor will be like, you cannot have sex until marriage, and they stop there. They don't hold classes. They don't tell people why you cannot have sex before marriage. We just have this myth of not strictly. It's like, a law that you have to follow. Not having sex before marriage, but nobody knows why. And according to what he said, it's really something that you can understand. It's the same thing that you said. It's because when you go in front of the pastor or at the altar, when you're going to get married and you say, I do, that is not the thing that ties you and your partner together. Only sex ties people together. It's like, you know, you're tying your souls spiritually, mentally, and emotionally together, and physically, exactly. So that's why people should not have sex before marriage, because marriage is just a thing that has, sex is a thing that has to be done with only one person. I mean, just two people, only two people, not a third one, not a fourth one. That's why they, they advise people to have sex after marriage, because you have just vowed to be with this person forever, and this person is going to be the only one. Whereas when you have sex before you get married to the right or to the wrong people, because you can even get married to the wrong person, you break up with this person, nobody knows, you go to the next one, you have sex with them, you go to the next one, you have sex with them, and you're tying yourself to so very many other people that you should have not tied yourself to in the first place. That is the worst thing of having sex. Only if God revealed the one for us, you can have sex with them until maybe you can...
Before marriage.
That is what I think.
If he's the one for you,
If he's the one, yeah. Because at
Before
the
marriage.
Yeah.
Before marriage.
No, but I have a question. If God has shown you that this is your man, before marriage or after marriage, what is
At the end of the day, you're going to have sex.
You're still
There's
going
such
to
a
be
huge
with him.
difference. Because when you get married, remember when they're joining you to be one. The pastor that makes you one, that says you're husband and husband,
blessing the marriage.
he says,
He's not
by the
tying
power
you to-
invested in me, you get. He's standing there representing God.
Yeah.
And says, from now on, you'll be husband and wife. You get me? So these are acts that are meant for husband and wife, not for boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yes.
But we're also
Yes.
Yeah,
saying
that's what we are
there
saying.
was a way that God had
Can actually
revealed to
reveal
us
and
that he's your
shows you,
future
yeah.
husband.
Let's just go by what he said, because I believe that if he said you can't have marriage, you can't have sex before marriage, then it means the act that, why do we have religious weddings then?
Nyine, umva nkubwire gasa. I explained to you why people should have sex after marriage. Because sex should be with this one person that you tied with forever. So only if we got the blessing of knowing that we are going to be with that person, that one person, then we can have sex, because at the end of the day, he's going to be that one person forever. That's what I think.
How sure are you?
I'm saying if we
I
have
literally
the
just told you that
revelation.
if
Because
God revealed
if-
him to you, that is why we're saying.
Yeah.
So you don't believe in revelations from God?
I believe that.
don't say
I
how
believe
sure
that.
are you.
Let me tell you. I believe that you can wait to see if this person is the one.
No,
because if this person
you.
engages you,
No,
or
we
if
asked you, do you believe in
if you
revelations?
know that this person is the
If you
correct
know for
one.
a fact, the same way God can reveal
Ego.
to you your future job, the same way God can reveal to you something miraculous that is going to happen in your life.
If you
He
are
happens
sure
to
that this person
reveal to you your future man.
But you know that people who have revelations and they can know. But then that revelation doesn't give you the ideal to actually sleep with this person. Maybe if the revelation.
It's my
Yes,
opinion.
yes, sweetie, it's your own
Yes.
opinion.
Yes.
But we're debating about this opinion. So.
Yeah, so that is what I think. If only you are graced enough to know that this person is going to be the one, then I don't think that there's anything stopping you from having that one person, because he's going to be there or she's going to be there forever. And then coming back to the people, sometimes I do understand them, because people just quifata, that's how they call it. People have different reasons why they have sex. You never know. Maybe it was something that they were introduced to at a young age, and then they continue having it, or it is just something that pushed them or made them do it. You never know what it is. So for me, I cannot condemn them. I cannot say that you really did a bad thing. You have your own reasons, and it is what you chose. And I don't know how you're going to go about it. But for me, if I was graced enough to know my person, then I'll go for them.
Exactly.
That is what I think.
Yeah, so my opinion is it actually beats around both of what you guys said. When you give yourself to more than one person before marriage, your body, your soul, sexually or emotionally, let's say today you're giving it to one person, it does not work out, the next day you're giving it to the other. It takes a piece of you every time you do that.
Yeah.
This person has taken a piece of you, sexually or emotionally
Ronald,
or physically. Yes, the next day, Zach has taken another piece from you. The next day, Moses has taken another piece from you.
Yeah.
So you end up losing.
Got another piece.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you actually end up not being whole.
Exactly.
Yet you started as a whole
That is
person.
even what the thing that Tracy said. You find yourself coming back to these people, not knowing why you're coming back.
Yes,
Yeah.
and like one of you said, yes, I think it's Tracy. When you have sex with a person, you're first. I think it's also in part of the opinions. When you lose your V card to the first person, and unfortunately that person ends up not being your husband. I don't know how. Factual it is. I don't know if it has been proven, but apparently you get attached to
From
your
people's testimonies.
Yes, from people's testimonies, because I have no idea. I'm not sure if it's factual or if it happens to some people or not to the others. But apparently that first person takes a part of you and you are purely or forever bonded. I'm not sure if that's possible, but you have a bond with that person because they are the ones who broke your virginity.
Yeah.
So just imagine if you're not lucky enough to give your V card to someone who is not worth it, one, who ends up taking advantage of you, two, you never know these days, and three, they are not your future man. So sometimes you live with that trauma of whether you made that decision when you're sane, when you were ready, sometimes it ends up not being the right decision. And so, like you said, we need these classes in society, especially amongst the youth. Yes, it's not right to have sex before marriage.
Because
it is even
of
written
this
in the
and
Bible. But why?
Yeah.
Because you know these days the youth are rebellious. They see things on TV, we see things on TV, we see things amongst social media, and we're like, so if my role model is doing it, why can't I do it?
Well, no, Tina, take an example. If somebody comes and tells you, Martina, you're not allowed to go in this room until you're 18.
Exactly.
Then
And
more curiosity
yes.
comes in and you're like, what is in that room that they do not want me to see? But when somebody says, Martina, you cannot go in that room because maybe it has, dangerous animals in it, then you will fear because you know what is inside.
Yes.
But then some people come up and tell us, you should not do this and this. And you're like, what if I do it? What will happen?
What will happen?
You want
Exactly.
to find out. You're like, even parents have a role in it because honestly,
And
African
yeah,
parents,
some parents
nobody
fear-
comes up to you and tells you why you
Exactly.
shouldn't do it.
In the Western areas, they call it the sex talk. Have you had the sex talk with your child?
They
Have
usually
you?
tell you that you can't do it because you will get pregnant.
They
You
usually-
all know that. Your parents used to tell you that,
Yeah,
right?
they did.
Because they tell you if you
Only
have
from
if
his
you
dad.
do
Because
this,
that told me
You
because
do-
I'll get pregnant.
so you don't do it because you won't get pregnant.
No, you do it. You don't do it because you know that there are other. You personally
And also,
grow
they
up
didn't tell you
knowing.
that it was a sin before God.
No.
That's one they
Okay.
told me.
They
That one
told
I
you.
knew.
Your
Yes.
parents did?
Yes.
Mine didn't.
There's
That
something I
talk is
just
not
came
in our
across.
household.
So
There's
they expect you
something.
to know yourself.
Just from maybe society or from my people or whatever. But like my mom comes up to me on a serious talk, one-on-one, and she says,
That's
let's
an
talk
issue,
about sex.
man. That's an
She
issue.
can never.
Anyway, so let
And
me
there are
wind
some
up before
parents
you.
who don't.
Yeah, which is
Well-
a fact. Let me say something before you go. Yeah, so I would like to wind up. If you happen to, let me see, because actually the same thing you were saying, you can never know who is your person.
Yeah.
So if you happen to even think of doing it, at least know all the reasons to why it is forbidden, like they say, and let it be your sane decision, not under the influence of alcohol, not under the influence of your friends. I don't know if it happens that you're going to do it, let it just be something you're not going to regret. But if you can manage to sustain and
exactly.
abstain from it before marriage,
Wait for the
do
right
that.
man.
Exactly.
I landed on something as we were arguing. So, literally, to support my argument on this, so Paul elaborated on this idea that we're actually talking about, that 1 Corinthians 6:12 to 20 in the discussion of God's lordship over our bodies. So you also know that they say that our bodies are a temple of God. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yes. So over our bodies as well as our souls, he says that when a man has sex with a prostitute, he has become one with her body. That's verse 16.
That's
and it's
the
clear.
attachment.
Yes. So that's the attachment. You become one with
Yeah.
the soul. So it's clear that the sexual relationship, no matter the context, is special. There is a level of vulnerability one experiences in a sexual relationship that God wants to keep within committed, trusting marital union. Even if you think you're going to marry the person, it is important to honor one another by waiting until you are actually married before giving yourselves to one another sexually. So you become one when you do this action, when you do this act of having sex before marriage. You become one with one's body. Like there's just oneness that comes with you. So
yeah.
God actually meant this of not having a sexual relationship with someone that you're not married with, because that oneness that you have is the oneness that they make of you when they say you have now become husband and wife. You are one. You get me? So this is what he kept for marital. Marital is being married. For marital union. So when you have it outside of this, that's why when even a man is married because some people think when you're married you're allowed to actually have sex with another person just because you're married. So when you actually, so that's how some people think, you know. So when you're married to one another, you're not allowed to have sexual relationship with another person, because if you have it with another person, then it makes it adultery. So it's something that was ordained and made for just two people that were made husband and wife.
Okay. But okay, can I say something about this? I just don't believe that a pastor is the one who makes two people one. Wait. I think it's just him giving you, him standing in for God and blessing you, and then that one thing that God made for you guys to unite the two of you is the one that makes you guys one person. It's a blessing.
Who made you and your mother one? Because your mother carried you for 9 months, right? She carried you. So who made you and your mother one?
It's God, of course.
Exactly. So just like the way we do not know how you're born, right? Because it's until your mother and your father meet to produce a child. So that oneness cannot produce a child.
Nina, I'm just saying it's a blessing. You guys are not getting it.
We're getting it.
I get it.
Like Nina, it's like how your parents bless you, or how everybody gives you a go ahead. It just becomes more unique because God is involved. Then they bless your marriage until you cannot be one until you have sexual intercourse with that person. You believe that?
That's why when they're going to make you one, even before they say they have made you one, they first say, by the power invested in me.
Nina,
so
are you getting caught? The marriage and the pastors, whatever, is a blessing to the uniting that you guys are going to have. Do you believe
exactly that? God has already made it, but there is someone he put there to actually make the action come to life.
Not the action, but the blessing. Because
oh my God.
The action, that person
the action I mean is the process of you guys becoming one.
But do you realize
right there and then? And then the night, people have this ideology that when you get married that night, the first night you get. So that first night, the one that you've always been waiting for, is what makes you now one with each other officially.
Is it those ones officially?
Yes. Oh my God, like it makes you one because you've been waiting till marriage.
So let's say you're one in the church, you're also one again in the bed at night.
When the pastor says, by the power invested in me, you're now husband and wife. When you go home,
so you're not
after the wedding, you're already one in words. In words. Now, when you go home at night after the reception, that's my own thinking and my own opinion. I don't know. I don't know these things.
It cannot even be that.
I'm not even the one who chose this topic. This topic is too much. So
it's too much.
Listen,
but it cannot even be that wedding night. It can be the
it's the wedding night. It has to be the wedding night.
Who says it has to?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so by the myth that I know,
that's a myth. It's not
the myth
anyway.
I know is that night they become one.
Can I ask you something? Why are you saying it has to be? Is it a fact? Do you see it in the Bible? So don't
what I know is that night they have their action now, the one that makes their body one.
Not all of them.
They can have it in the morning, whenever they will have it, until they waited. If they waited till marriage, this is what makes them one. Because if they didn't wait till marriage, then they're already one. Because they already met with their body, they already are in connect with each other.
Can I ask?
I don't see a way they become one after that.
So the Bible,
marriage.
They say
they're already married. Please, yes.
Listen.
They're already married to each other because they already made their bodies one.
Already.
Thank you.
Question. So in the Bible they say abstain from sex before marriage. What does the Bible say about kissing or making out?
I think
Let me
there's.
tell you what
You
it
guys,
is.
time for opinion poll is done.
It's not
If you
done.
didn't know,
It's
yes,
not
it is.
done.
A few
It
seconds to talk
is.
about
Oh my
that.
god.
Let me tell you, they tell you, they do not tell people to not, okay, I don't have that facts from the Bible, but from people who believe in God, and some things that are said by men or believers of God. They tell you to abstain from anything that can lead to you feeling that you want to have sex. Like
So-
any connections, like
Okay.
maybe, kissing.
And that's
Yes.
why
Like-
we need one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit is self-control. That's why we need self-control, because he knows that these things are not easy.
Question. So what if you can kiss and make out and abstain from sex until marriage? Are you
That needs
sinning
a
or
lot
not?
of self-control.
I'm asking,
I don't know
yes,
that
it
because I
does.
don't have facts.
I
Okay.
think it does.
It does?
Let
It
me
does
tell you
still a
what.
sin.
Anything.
It is a sin.
Let me tell you something from the Bible. Anything that you wish that you can have, but you can because of the beliefs or whatever. Already, okay. I don't know how you guys are, but when you're kissing, you develop that feeling of wanting to go deep, but you cannot. Eh.
Yes.
Oh God. No.
Yes, we're listening.
The fact that you want I mean, you feel like you can have sex, but you cannot. You have already thought about it. So if you could have it, you can. I mean, you want to have it already in the thoughts. And if it could be something that can happen, you feel like you can do it. But you cannot do it because of some things that you cannot, because of the beliefs and everything. Then you have already committed the sin. Because anything that you can think of, that is what the Bible proves. Anything that you feel like you can, but you cannot, but you have already thought about it, then you have already committed the sin into words or into thoughts.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something.
Okay.
Can I just ask?
This is the end of
We
it.
have just two opinions, but let me ask. What do we say about people who are non-believers? Because most of our opinions, you find we base on God and religion.
Yeah.
But how about people who follow us and they don't believe in God, maybe?
They should send in our comments because as we base our
On our own
opinions
opinion.
on ourselves,
What
if
can
we
you
are
tell
believe-
those people? Because we are
Those-
just
those
talking on behalf of believers.
No,
The
but
Bible
you're
still
speaking
says
not
you-
on
you-
behalf of believers, but on behalf of yourself. If you're a believer, you're a believer.
Yego, yego.
Yes. So we cannot speak for non-believers because we have no idea how it thinks. But non-believers, you never know how they go about it. There can be a non-believer who is
Who knows the
willing,
right and wrong?
Yes, who is willing to abstain from sexual activities due to the fact that they don't want to give their
You make them seem like activities. Like, really?
they don't want to give their body and souls to someone who they are not sure they will end up or spend the rest of their lives with. So that mentality is not necessarily in line with beliefs of God or Allah. But
We know.
but they can be a non-believer who lives their life recklessly and is like, you know what? F it. Whatever I do, I do. No one did have
Yeah.
So,
All right. So
let her read the last comment and we're done.
This guy, whose name is Double GK 6 said yes, it's appropriate to him.
Yeah.
And then Corpsey State said it's normal and common, but not appropriate.
yeah.
That is what he said. It's
Yeah.
what people
True,
normally know, but it's not appropriate according
Yes.
to
True,
Yeah.
true.
So, those were our opinions.
Yes.